I cannot believe I'm making this video right now. So frustrating. The kitchen sink that I installed maybe 6 months ago is cracked. From one end to the other, there's a hairline fracture that's seeping water in and it's destroying our sink cabinet. Luckily, I was able to do a temporary repair with some JB water weld to fill in that crack until the new sink arrived, because we have a 4-month-old and going without a kitchen sink for a week until the new one arrives is a no-go. So now I gotta replace it, and there's 2 issues I'm running into. 1, the sink is discontinued, and 2, the drain pipe isn't gonna line up, so I'm gonna need to re-drain this sink. But enough talk, let's get into it.
Again, I can't stress this enough. It's so frustrating making this video and repairing and trying to replace this sink. Something that I put in 6 months ago. It was completely fine. It must have been a defect from the factory that maybe it's just a small crack, and then just over time with hot and cold water consistently on it, it just continued to grow and finally gave out. And the fact that this is when we need the sink the most, it gave out. It's just funny looking back at it now and laughing. But now I'm trying to remove the sink, so it has silicone that's on the top of the sink to the bottom of the countertop. So I'm just going over with a razor blade knife and just scoring the edges so I can remove it. This was a huge concern of mine because I didn't want to damage the quartzite countertop. If I damaged or chipped this countertop in any way, trying to replace it and fix it would be an absolute nightmare. I'm removing this bottom trim because the game plan is just to pop this sink out. Well, when I went to go pop it out, I chucked it off the deck. Well, my camera died midway through and corrupted the footage, so I don't have actual footage of me doing it. Here's the aftermath. Take a look at this sink and tell me what you notice isn't there. You see it? No, you can't. What is holding this sink together? Where is the wire mesh? Where's the fiberglass cloth? There's nothing holding this sink together. So it was bound to fail, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week, next month. It was going to crack. At this point, I'm just glad I can rip it out of our kitchen and get something in there that we know is going to last. Right now, I'm ripping down the bottom piece of the trim before I set the new sink. And quick tip, if you want to avoid any type of tear out, just add a piece of painter's tape on top of the piece of trim, run it through the table saw, and you won't have any tear out. The new sink is about 2 inches deeper than the old sink, and right now I'm just setting it all in place, making sure it's all level with some pocket hole screws. You can get these DeWalt clamps pretty much anywhere. It's like a variety pack. There's a 6-inch, 12-inch, and there's little small ones that I use a lot. Very handy. I'll leave the link to those in the description below. Now I'm setting the side supports for the sink and just making sure everything's level.
Might be running into the same situation that I got into before when the sink cracked. One of the possible solutions, just possible, was that I didn't have it framed up in the middle and that the 2 supports on the side weren't enough. So when the dishes and stuff were on the sink, then it was too much pressure, and then that's what made it crack. That's a theory. The new sink overhangs the front face to this cabinet by 3 inches. So there'll be a lot of weight out here, and I feel like this right here isn't enough to hold it up. So I'm just gonna go back over and double it up with just a piece of plywood, and then you'll never see it. It'll be inside the cabinet, but I can't run extra supports because there's so much stuff in the way. There's a reverse osmosis, there's the sink, there's the tank for the reverse osmosis. There's just a lot going on underneath this sink. I'm gonna just put it to the front of the cabinet, set it, forget it. Again, I think it's overkill, but I don't wanna run into the same issue again and then have us make another video in a couple months. I have the sink right here and it's time for install. And don't forget, it's 104 pounds, so this will be pretty interesting getting it over to the base sink. What do they say, lift with your back? Let's give it a shot.
This sink put up a pretty good fight. It was heavy, but not so heavy I couldn't move it. I just stuck my hand in the drain opening and got it started on the front of the face frame of the cabinet. Once I got the end started, I just kind of shimmied its way on in. Again, you're going for tight, but not too tight, about an 1/8 inch clearance from the top of the sink to the bottom of the countertop.
New sink's in, it looks great. There are some issues. It was about maybe 1/4 of an inch smaller than the previous sink, though it wasn't as long, so there are gaps that I'm gonna need to fill, and then I'm gonna have to do some wood strips and then blend it all together. So that's for the side, that's more of a cosmetic. But now on to the actual sink area, the drain needs to be repiped and replaced. The old one doesn't match the new one, it's off about 1/2 of an inch. So I'm gonna go back and cut the P-trap off and then replace it.
But first we need to do a Home Depot run to get all the materials. This is PVC cement, some silicone for the strainer. Then I have a 6-inch extension tube for the sink, and then a heavy-duty P-trap. All this came into just under $50. Some items that weren't included was the P-trap adapter and the reducer. There was a 2-inch sink outlet that I needed to reduce down to 1.5 inches so that the new P-trap would fit. But adding those 2 items is like another $5, so it's not going to break the bank. Finishing off the strainer, I'm adding a bolt, and that what connects the top and bottom portion of the strainer. So you just want to get it hand tight. And as you tighten it up, it'll just kind of push out the silicone and it'll make a nice tight seal. Then you just go back with a paper towel and wipe it off. No big deal. Then taking my oscillating tool, I'm just cutting and removing the old P-trap. You can see some water's coming out of it. That's normal. Just put a dish underneath just to catch it and help the sink not get damaged from the water. This is the old tube extension, so I'm just hooking back up my dishwasher outlet and the reverse osmosis outlet. So that's pretty important, just making sure everything's nice and tight before I move on to the PVC drain. Using the PVC purple primer, you just want to kind of go a couple of laps around on both sides of the PVC pipe, and then you want to hit it with some of the cement, the clear cement, and then once you put it on, you just want to do a nice quarter turn to have it set up. You can see I kind of panicked there for a second because I was taking my sweet time and I almost lost it. If you put on this PVC with this glue and mess up in any way, you're going to have to remove the whole thing and start over. It is impossible to get off. That stuff is no joke. Now we can install the actual P-trap itself. So I'm just threading on the caps on either end and then hitting it with the gasket. Gasket goes on the P-trap adapter portion, and then the other side of that, the side that I'm taking a level on, doesn't need a gasket. The end of that tube's already flared out. So here I'm just lining everything up and just dry fitting it before I actually tighten everything down. So I add on the additional 6-inch tube extension, which I needed it because the original drain wasn't long enough. And then I'm just throwing that on there and then adding in the P-trap and just tightening everything down. Now, quick tip, when you go to tighten it down, you would think the tighter the better. That's not right. You want to tighten it up just enough and then maybe do another quarter turn and then leave it. You don't want to over tighten it. This stuff is plastic, so it will ruin those threads and cause leaks when you put water on it. Now, time for the moment of truth. I just threw on the sink and let that run for about 10 minutes and then just periodically be checking all the joints. Anywhere there's threaded caps, you just want to kind of run your finger through and make sure it's not leaking. And once it all checks out, you're good to go. You just installed a new P-trap on your kitchen sink. Now for the final step, you're just going to add a bead of silicone all the way around the sink. This just prevents any water getting in from the crack from the bottom of the countertop to the top of the sink. You see, I put painter's tape around the top of the sink, and I did that because this silicone is extremely difficult to get off. So I just wet my finger and then went over the bead and just kind of pressed it in nice and light. Then once it was all done, I peeled back the painter's tape and get a nice clean finish, and then also going to come back over with like a paper towel and just kind of wipe off the excess. The silicone will be dry to touch 30 to 60 minutes after install. It'll really cure and harden up 24 to 48 hours.
And that's how we installed the kitchen sink. Overall, it turned out well. This is not done by any means. There's still a ton of cosmetic issues that I need to deal with, especially patching those sides and then creating the doors for the cabinet base. But we can use the sink in the time being until I finish all these little repairs. The entire game plan was to get that kitchen sink back in and get our kitchen back to where it's actually usable. Going without a sink sucks. But that's all I got going on for tonight. If you're interested in any laundry room makeovers, I just made a custom table and I can leave that video right here for you to go check out. But I'm out of here. Stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one.